Yo, what is up, guys? It's been a while, and I have quite a few things to talk about, mainly, where have I been this whole time? And the answer to that is, well, I've been here, I just haven't been posting. I've actually been up to quite a few things, well, to be honest, mainly, I haven't really been doing that much, but I have done a few things, and I want to talk about those things in this video. In my last video that I made in about the middle of March, I know I said I was going to be like turning my life around. I had a lot of things on the list of things that I wanted to do. Mainly, I wanted to start doing music. I wanted to make like video games, and I wanted to learn new programming languages. And I have actually made progress to some of those things, maybe a little bit. Uh, but I also announced my next video in that video on my main channel. I had a project that I wanted to do, and I didn't actually say what it was going to be, but I hinted that it was going to be pretty cool. And yeah, I never ended up making that video. I started working on it. I recorded all the footage for it, but then when I was done, I realized that what I had just wasn't good enough. You see, the problem was that I had set a goal. It was sort of like a challenge. I wanted to get as good as I possibly could at Minecraft speedrunning within 1 week of starting to learn it. And the goal that I had in mind for the challenge was to beat the game in under 15 minutes. And yeah, that didn't happen. I did not even get remotely close to beating the game in 15 minutes. And part of that was that 15 minutes in 1 week is such an unrealistic goal that there's just no way I was ever getting it. At the time, I thought, sure, 15 minutes. I mean, like, world record is 7 minutes. Like, what's 15 minutes compared to that? That is 2 times slower. That is actually more than 2 times slower. Surely, within 1 week, I can get that. Within 1 week, I was looking at a time of around 40 minutes, maybe just under 40 minutes. So I definitely improved. I definitely got a time, but I definitely was nowhere close to 15 minutes. And, part of that was that it was an unrealistic goal. The other part of that was that I did not put in as much effort as I had originally planned to. I kind of wanted to be grinding like all day, every day, and yeah, that didn't happen. I was maybe playing for like 3 to 4 hours a day. Maybe I spent like that's how long I spent in total per day learning how to speedrun, and that includes practice, watching videos, actually doing runs, and trying to beat the game. And with all of that, 15 minutes did not happen. I did actually manage to beat the game in 30 minutes, probably like a few days after the time frame. So if I had set the goal of 30 minutes, I could have realistically gotten that. And funnily enough, I watched a video on YouTube a couple weeks ago that, guess what? The exact same premise as what I wanted to do, but the goal was 30 minutes, and the guy managed to do it. So, congratulations to him, and no congratulations to me because I am an idiot. Okay, maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on myself. But I have been doing a lot of Minecraft speedrunning over the past few months. I have actually gotten pretty good at it, I want to say. I still have not beaten the game in 15 minutes though. But I did beat the game in 17 minutes, so I'm getting there. And hopefully, I do manage to actually get the 15-minute PB within a few weeks from now. Like, I really hope that's gonna happen. So, speedrunning Minecraft has definitely accounted for quite a bit of my time, but like, not all of it. Maybe I've spent like 20% of my time, maybe even less, speedrunning Minecraft. What happened to the rest of that time? Um, I know I spent a lot of time watching YouTube, but also there's a few other things that I've been up to, and there have been periods where I just like I haven't been playing any Minecraft or like not watching a lot of YouTube, and probably the biggest period of that was when I went on vacation and took a trip to Colorado. And it was actually really cool to be able to go to Colorado and see the mountains because like I went 2 years ago and I really loved it. It's just I really loved going to Colorado, like seeing the mountains, being able to go outside, touch grass, take in the beautiful scenery, go for a hike. It's just it's just so different to what I do on a day-to-day basis, and I kind of do want to be going outside more, but unfortunately during the summer that's not really an option for me because I live in Texas, and in Texas, if you know one thing about Texas, you probably know that it is absurdly hot here during the summer. Like right now, I think it's like 103 degrees or something outside. Yesterday it was also 103 degrees outside, so am I gonna go outside? Hell no. It's like an industrial oven out there. Like, I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die, but I'm gonna be miserable if I go outside. The nice thing is though, like this doesn't happen usually, but the past like week or two, the weather was so much nicer than it usually is. It was so much cooler. Like during the day, it was 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So wow, beautiful. It was I was able to actually go outside. Like I would wake up and I would feel like not that great, and then I'd go outside for a walk, and it being pretty nice outside and me being able to take a nice like 15-20 minute walk, and I'd come back and I'd feel a lot better. And then I'd actually be able to like speedrun Minecraft and not feel like I'm falling asleep or dying at my keyboard. So that was nice. Oh wait, yeah, back to the Colorado trip. I wanted to like talk about that. The weather in Colorado is much nicer than here in Texas. It was there were a few days actually, admittedly, where it was hot. Like the first day I got there, it was hot. It was 90 degrees Fahrenheit, even at an elevation of like 8,000, 9,000 feet. It was just hot. But then after that, the weather was so much nicer. At the higher elevations that I went to, it was like 60, 70 degrees. Like so nice for summer. And I really liked the trip. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. But there were also a lot of interesting things, you could say, a lot of misadventures that occurred during the trip. One of those was with the rental house we were staying at when we first showed up the first night, it being like 12 a.m. or something late like that. I go to wash my hands. I turn on the water and it's ice cold. Like it's pretty like it's really cold. I turn on the other one. It's somehow even colder. I didn't know how that was possible, but it was like so cold that it burned my hands. That my hands like felt numb after being under that water for a second or two. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? I like try to turn on the other one, it's still cold. I turn on the one that I just turned on, it's even colder, and there's just no hot water. Period. There's no hot water at all. Like even after letting the faucet run for 5 minutes, there is just no hot water. And apparently, there was a problem with the boiler. So my parents, and actually like we were staying with some of my parents' friends. Basically, they went to check it out, and yeah, something was wrong with the boiler. It wasn't heating the water like at all. There was like some critical malfunction error displayed on the screen, like which is not good. And thankfully, they managed to find a temporary fix for this, which allowed us to have hot water for a couple hours. And then they were able to do that temporary fix again and again and again. But every time they did it, the water just got a little bit colder, and eventually it was just not going to work anymore. So we contacted the people that own the rental that were supposed to fix it, and they did not actually fix it. They said they were gonna fix it. Then a guy showed up, and he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, we can get the part for this and fix this within like a day." They didn't fix it within a day. They didn't fix it within 2 days. Eventually, they ended up saying that they would fix it within like a week, but we'd be gone by that point. So they made us find a new place essentially. Well, first we started looking for one on our own volition, but it was kind of tricky to have them get us a house that was comparable to the one we were staying at, and it took a while for my parents' friend. He was like bargaining with them. It took a while, and eventually he just like he ghosted them, And then they're like, okay, okay, we'll give you the house. So they gave us like actually a house that was even nicer than we were staying at, and there was hot water, which was the important thing. So yeah, that was the first like misadventure that happened. And then the second one that happened, our car fucking broke down. Like completely. Our car just like it just stopped working, which was very unfortunate because it happened during a vacation. And this car had like a few minor problems, like there was like something weird going on with the oil. We had to like change the oil way too often, or maybe the sensor was defective for the oil level, or I don't know what was going on, but that was like a problem that had already been occurring in that car. And then now it just like something like pretty big broke because we were driving and suddenly like every single indicator turns on. Uh-oh, that's not good. So we have to get our car repaired there, and like thankfully managed to find a really good repair place that specialized in the exact model of cars that we were driving, the exact brand, and they actually did a good job for a not too steep of a price, I think, for a car. So we did manage to get our car fixed, but that was a bit of a unfortunate event that occurred. And I feel like that's like most of what happened during the trip, those two unfortunate events. And then when we got back from the trip, um, so basically we have two cats. We had two cats, and one of them was not doing too well after we got back. She had already been not doing that well earlier, and when we got back, everything was just going downhill for her. We tried to keep taking care of her, but she just kept getting worse, and yeah, unfortunately, um, she's no longer with us. I don't really know how to break this news, but it's just sad. I was very sad when I first found out that you know she had to get put down, and I know that like my brother was even more sad because this was like his cat, and he was actually there when they were putting her down, and I just I just heard about it later, and there were moments where I acutely just felt the absence of this cat, and just made me kind of sad. Okay, let's talk about something. Let's talk about something more cheerful. So, some of the stuff that I had been up to, I already mentioned Minecraft speedrunning. Something else that I'd been up to is actually, I remember I mentioned the three things that I wanted to do, which was music, making a video game, and then learning more programming languages, getting better at coding. I actually had started making music. Isn't that exciting? So I got a program called FL Studio, which is a music production software that I've actually had for a while, but been too overwhelmed to bother learning it until recently when I watched a nice long tutorial about it, and I feel like I've learned it decently well, and I've actually made a few things with it already, and I think they sound pretty good for a beginner at least. I also plan to start learning JavaScript. I've found a tutorial that I'm going to follow. I started it, but like only a few minutes of it, so I'm hoping that I will be doing it after I get back from my next trip. Yay! Okay, so what is my next trip going to be? I'm actually taking a trip to Oregon, which I think is gonna be really cool because I've never actually been to the West Coast before. And this time, this is like the first trip that I'm ever going on without my parents. I'm just gonna be going with my brother and some of our friends. And I think like and also we aren't gonna be driving there because holy shit, that's far. We're gonna be taking a flight. which is like also, I think it's also kind of cool. It's like the first time that I've been taking a flight. I haven't flown anywhere in a couple of years actually, and it's also like the first time I'm taking like a big trip within the U.S. that I'm gonna be flying, and without my parents, just with my friends. It's like actually surprisingly cheap to get round trip tickets to Oregon and back. Like it was like 90 something dollars per person. Now, of course, that's like with the lowest everything, the cheapest seats, the least amount of luggage that you can take aboard, but still like that is pretty cheap. And also like so with the flights and the rental combined, like I think I pitched in something like 150, 180, 100, $200 or something to be able to make the trip happen. So, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to once again go out and touch grass, be outside, do some hiking. The weather is supposed to be pretty nice at the base of the mountain we're gonna be staying near. It's gonna be like 90 degrees during the day, and closer to the top, I think it's gonna be like 70. So, pretty nice weather. Similar to what the weather was in Colorado when I went. So, yep. And then finally, I want to talk about some future plans that I have. After I get back, I'm probably gonna speedrun some more. I really want to get that sub 15. Hopefully, I get it shortly after coming back from my trip. I also have a YouTube short in the works. It has been in the works for like a very, very long time. Probably like right after I made that turning my life around video in March was when I like wrote the script for it, and then a few months later I recorded the voiceover, and then a month later I started putting together the clips, and I've put together probably like a lot, I don't know. But the video is getting kind of close to being done, so I'm hoping to put that out maybe a day or two after I get back from my trip. And then obviously I'm planning to work on some other videos on my main channel, and I'll probably make another video discussing the trip as well as some other things that I didn't talk about in this video on this channel. So, pretty exciting. A lot of stuff coming up. So yeah, I'll see y'all again very soon. Bye.